reproductive system actually is made of, we'd like to make a cross section across this one to know the parts, how do they look like. At the most top, we have the uterus like that. Anterior to it, we have the urinary bladder. Back to it, we have the GIT, the lowest piece, which is the colon, anal canal, rectum, and anal canal. Okay? The uterus, when you study it like that, this should be covered like this. The uterus is the main part of the female reproductive. It has the fallopian tube. Attached to it is the ovary, which is the female gonad. The ovary is attached to the bladder, to the uterus, by what's called ligament of the ovary, ovarian ligament, which is this one. Attached to the uterus, again, this is on the other side. This is the tube, fallopian tube. Attached to it is the ovary. What is that tube? This is called round ligament of the uterus. The uterus is fixed in place by so many ligaments. This is one of these ligaments. Okay? So here is the round ligament of the uterus. This is the fallopian tube, and this is the ovary. What about this tube? Same like in male. Any tube crossing these two big vessels should be a ureter coming from the kidney above. So don't be confused between this and these three things. When we open this to be a cross section, to start with, this is the uterus. Uterus has a fundus, the top piece, above the level of the exit of the two tubes, which is that part. And then we have the body of the uterus, and then we have the cervix. Cervix is called cervical canal, has endocervix, inner kind of sphincter, exocervix, outer kind of sphincter at the end that way. Coverings of the uterus from outside, perimetrium, and then the muscle of the uterus itself, myometrium, and then the endometrium, where the cavity of the uterus is inside there. Following the uterus, after the cervix, we have the vagina, which is open there. Anterior to the uterus and the vagina, we have the urinary bladder, ending with the urethra. So anteriorly located is the urinary bladder, back to it is the uterus, back to the uterus is the rectum and the anal canal. What about this? This is a cross section in one of the loops of the colon. This is the pubic bone, which most anterior to the bladder, and this one. If we have this cross section, it is the same. Do not be confused. This is the rectum, this is the anal canal. So that's the most back, most posterior. Anterior to it, I have this is the uterus, starting with the fundus, body, cervix, and this is the vagina. More anterior, we have the urinary bladder, and this is the urethra opening. It's on open that way. If you go on the back, another kind of demonstration. This is the uterus. This is the ovary. This cross section should be the ureter opening into the urinary bladder. So that tube, if you're asked, this is the ureter ending into the urinary bladder. This is all what you need to know about the female reproductive.